Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhavatapa Pranashinne, Ananda Ghanamurte, Jnana Bhakti Pradayinne, Matastubhyam, Namo Namaha. Jai Ma. Okay, now we start with the Dusht story. Dusht is like evil, you know what I'm talking about. The person I met. Now, I used to go there very often. My father that time wasn't in India. You see, there was this land that was sanctioned in Orlando, America, by the government, and it was there was a Hindu university that my father had helped construct, and he was like a lecturer there because my father was very educated, very learned, and he's written a book called Fundamentals of Indian Philosophy, and he used to teach that in college over there, and the students got credits on this. And I still haven't published it, which is my fault. But it's all comparative religions, and he's done a masterpiece on that. It's a thick book. So he was teaching over there. So he would be there for 6 months and come to India for 6 months, and it went on that way. So when he was away, I had met this person. And I used to go there to meet him just to see what this is all about, you know, curiosity. The first time I went to him, the first day, there were a lot of people sitting in the room. And, you know, I was very used to drinking a lot of tea that time. So, you know, by the time I reached the place, I wanted to have a cup of tea. Then I said, no, if this is like a Bhagwan ka aadmi, you know, if he's somebody like this, how can I, you know, ask for tea in front of him? It's not allowed. So I said, I better keep quiet and sit down quietly. So I sat down quietly. But the moment he saw me, that was the first meeting, he calls the hostess, whose house it was, and said, "Arey, isko chai peeni hai, chai banao sabke liye." It's like she wants to have tea in English, so make tea for everybody. I was shocked. I said, my God. And I had never thought that, you know, people have siddhis or, you know, all those things I never knew. So I said, oh, really? I mean, he can read my mind also? This is strange, I said, you know. With Ma, it was like, you know, we really lived in a land of magic where everything was happening every day, all different things. So it was just a normal existence for us. Now when I think about it, what used to happen with Ma, again, it is in the book, in my book, those different incidents. We thought the world is that, you know, which is true. That was the real world we lived in. This world where we are living is really not the real world. So we went through a lot of different experiences over there. But those days I never understood anything. I thought, well, these things happen, you know. But now I've grown up and I've come to this man and he's doing this. And so I was like, first day I was impressed. I thought, wow, this is okay. So that was the end of that first day meeting. Then I used to go, whenever he came to Bombay, I would get a phone call and I would go to meet him. Slowly, it went on where my curiosity turned into skepticism. Because he was asking for donations from people and he said, I'm trying to make a mandir where I live, in whichever city he lived. And I'm trying to build a mandir and, you know, all that kind of stuff went on. Now, when he started asking for money from people, my antenna charged, you know. And I said, this doesn't seem to be right to me. So one day I said, if you are God, what you are saying, you know, the way you're behaving and you've got such a huge following, why do you have to beg for money? People will automatically give you donations. So he says, oh, all that you understand, no? People don't. So very vague, lame excuses he would make. So I would go on questioning, which he did not like, you know, that somebody is questioning him. This went on for 8 months where he had totally, completely kind of possessed me. You know, that is the right word I can use. Now see, you know, you people will wonder that when I was in Ma's protection, And Ma was always with me, right from my birth, she was with me. And once you come in Ma's protection, there's no way anybody can harm you. Then why was this happening? Later on, I did a lot of contemplation on this. And I said, why did this particular thing, why did it happen to me? My answer was that I was a very stubborn person. I never listened to anybody. And though I went to Ma knew that she's not going to listen to anything. So what happens is, when you don't listen and Ma has picked you up and Ma has decided everything, your destiny she has decided that she is going to be this, whatever. And if you don't listen, you're slapped 2-3 times by her. So this was the slapping process that was going on with me these 8 months. But those 8 months, before this 8 months, I never used to do any puja of Ma, nothing. We had photographs of Ma in the room because my father was a great devotee. So, we did have photographs in the room. But I used to just put the photograph on my table and that's about it, nothing else. But when I met this man, suddenly something happened to me and I said, I want to have a little mandir in my room. So I went to one of the places in Bombay where they sell mandirs and they make murtis and things like that. So I said, I want a Ganpati murti, I want this, I want that, and I went and picked up all that and I had one little wooden mandir in my room. Now, I didn't know anything. Believe me, I didn't know how to light a lamp, diya. I didn't know how to light agarbatti, incense. I didn't know that there has to be disha to put the murti or the mandir. It has to be east and you have to face east and the mandir is facing west, and nothing I knew, nothing. So, but I just put the mandir in my room and I was doing my own kind of thing, job, whatever I felt like doing, I went on doing. I took out a mala that was in the house and I went on doing it. So I did my own thing, I picked up a book and I saw the mantra or whatever and I started doing whatever I wanted to do. So that was the phase when I met this man. Now, within these 8 months, what was he trying to do to me? All this Ma showed me in visions. All these 8 months, Ma was constantly with me. Sometimes like how you are seeing me, I would see her. And she was constantly guiding me. 8 months Ma stayed with me. And one time she showed me in my vision that, see this person, what is he all about? And what was that vision? I'm lying down on the floor and this man is on top of me with like long claws, kind of thing, very evil. And he's trying to lift me like that, It was a very scary vision that I had. And from a loudspeaker, you have a loudspeaker, the voice was resonating. It was a male voice which warned him. All this is Ma's doing. Nobody else can do all this. Which said, you cannot touch her. She is protected. And I heard that. It was like, going from the loudspeaker, you cannot touch it. The voice was going that way. And immediately, like vapor, he just vanished. This is what Ma did for me all these 8 months. She went on and on and on every day. One day there was a message from her saying that forget him. Wait for what was it? Wait for 28 weeks or something. Wait for that much period. And I said, what is that? So we ticked it in the calendar that Ma has said this. Let's see what happens on this day. Sure enough, on that very day, I get a phone call. By that time, I was off this person. I was like, going backwards. I said, I don't want to be with him. And I had retreated myself from this. So this, after 28 weeks or something, there was some function. He had a huge following. So there was this function in some hall and lots of people had come. And there was one man who got up. This was this information was given to me on the phone by one of my friends that I knew. And he said, somebody from the audience got up, went onto the stage and slapped this man and said, you get out of our city right now. Why? Because he had harassed his wife, that man's wife. And he was kicked out of Bombay. And that's exactly the date Ma had told me. Wait for so many weeks and you see what happens. So that was the 8-month period when I was completely sold on Ma. I completely realized that Ma is my savior. And Ma is doing everything for me. Honestly, I tell you people, if you have got hold of Ma, you need nothing else. Nothing else you need in life. You just have to, from the bottom of your heart, you have to pray to Ma. Because what Ma can do, nobody can do in the world. Honestly, I'm telling you, there's no friend, there is no guide, there is no philosopher, there is nobody like her. Hold on to her. Pray to her. That will save you in life. This is my experience. I'm sorry, but I'm very emotional right now. Sorry. So if you tell me, how did you feel? What was your transformation? I had these 2 questions yesterday. I was reading 2 questions people have asked. What was your transformation like? Was it bit by bit? What is it? What were the stages of transformation and how did you feel? There's nothing like feeling. You know, people say, was it hard for you to quit everything? What was there to quit? There was nothing to quit. You see, one fine day, I will also talk about in my next video, how I became a brahmachari also. You know, that is also a beautiful incident that happened in my life. But everything happened after Ma left her body. So if you think Ma was there, Arey, we haven't met her. I hear a lot of people saying that. Arey, we haven't met Ma. You know, you're so lucky that you had been with Ma. It's not like that. Ma is here today also. Just now, right now, as I'm talking also, she's here. She's right here. So it's not like she's not here. She's here for everyone. So transformation just happened automatically. It wasn't like I had to make any effort in terms of my clothes, you know, being a movie star and all that. You have so much stuff with you. You have different fancy clothes, fancy shoes, fancy bags, fancy this, fancy that. One fine day, I just called up my friends and said, do you want all this that, you know, is mine? So much makeup, so much everything in the house. So they said, what? So I said, yeah, if you want, I'm just getting rid of everything. By that time, I was in white clothes, you know. So they said, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm sure. I need nothing. So they were very surprised. And they came over and took away everything. And I was so relieved. It was like a big burden on my head, you know, to have so much of possessions. And when they went away, I had a sigh of relief. I said, thank God, I'm feeling so light, you know. And they asked me one question also, tomorrow you won't ask for it again, no? You won't say give it back. I said, no, I won't. I will not say that, you know, take it away. I remember there's my friend called Rekha Khanna. When I became a brahmachari and I had to wear white clothes, you know, I had called her up. She's the sponsor of this book, by the way. You know, she's the one who sponsored my book. She's a philanthropist, a lovely person. So she called me up and she said, what? You're wearing white from tomorrow? I said, yes, Rekha, Ma's instructions are all there with me, which, like I said, I will discuss in the next video. And I said, yes. So she was so tense. She said, but what about your parents? What about this? What? I said, Arey, these things happen in a lifetime to people. It doesn't happen. It's happened in my lifetime. My parents are so thrilled. They're so happy that, you know, this thing actually happened in front of their eyes. And they're very, very happy. She says, that's strange. How can parents be happy when the when the daughter is just quitting everything. I said, yeah, that's what spirituality is all about. So she said she had to take a compose in the night to sleep because she was so worried what's going to happen. Slowly, when you realize what's happening. So it's the, transformation was so smooth. When Ma does something, it's very smooth. Now, supposing you're an alcoholic, okay, you're drinking all the time. And somebody tells you you're an alcoholic, just quit now, quit. You're not able to do it. But you decide and you say, okay, I'm going to do it from tomorrow. So what happens? Tomorrow you will quit because you've told yourself and people have badgered you. But you won't be able to sustain it. So what happens? Day after tomorrow, you'll drink double. You'll say, no, I can't handle this. So you'll end up drinking double. That's what happens when we make an effort to do something on our own. It really sometimes doesn't succeed. But when Ma does it, you don't even realize it. When Ma decides, okay, she has to quit alcohol, it's just gone. There is an incident like that about somebody, again in the book. I have to keep repeating that because I don't want to be talking about incidents that are already written in the book. I'm trying to tell you things which are not there. Maybe I will say a couple of things which might be there, but that's the way it is. So transformation was very smooth. What was there for me to feel? Just a lot of happiness, which I never got in my life. If you're looking for happiness, if you're looking for contentment, satisfaction, it's coming on the path. That is the only thing that will give you satisfaction. See how many things I tried in my life. Those days I was, when you're in working and you're ambitious and all that, I believed in a lot of astrology. So I had one lady, she's no more, and she was a great sadhak of Ganpati. So I remember when I was working, she told me this. She says, you may do whatever you want in life. Tell me, how is it that you haven't consolidated yourself in any profession you did? You have succeeded in everything you did. And when you succeed and come to that pinnacle, why did you quit? I said, I really don't know. That question was with me all the time. You tell me, what do you think? So she says, I will tell you. Ma wanted you to experience everything that were your desires, all your different desires that you have. Ma wanted you to experience everything and finish it off. What is possible in 3 lifetimes, she's making you do in 1 lifetime so that it speeds up. And that's why the whole process is speeding up for you. So you don't have to come back so many lifetimes. Otherwise, for every desire you have, you'll have to keep coming back, finish it off. And that's what's happening. She's saying you may take any profession, any business, anything. It's not that you won't succeed, but you're not here for that. You're here only for one reason, and to come to God. That is the reason. That's for today. Thank you, Jema. Om Bhavata Pradashine Ananda Ghanamurtaye Jnana Bhakti Pradayine Matastubhyam Namo Namaha. Shree Shree Ma Anandamayee ki Jai.